In Lesson 2 of Section 3, we continue with the use of modeling to solve linear equations. Only now, instead of our two-pan balance, we will use algebra tiles. There will be 2 videos in this lesson dealing with algebra tiles, and a little surprise awaits in video 2. So just to recap once again, what does it mean to solve an equation? Finding the specific value or values for the variable that make the equation true. And in grade 7, there will only be one value that will satisfy the equation. We have already looked at systematic trial, inspection, and balance scales as well now. Here we will use a second modeling process involving algebra tiles. And of course, you recall our variable tile and our unit tile. We will isolate the variable tile to determine its value. In other words, get the variable by itself in order to determine what it equals. Example 1, n plus 3 equals 8. We will first of all represent n plus 3 equals 8. We end up with one variable tile and 3 unit tiles on the left-hand side, and we have 8 unit tiles on the right-hand side. Now we are trying to isolate one variable tile on the left-hand side. So the 3 unit tiles here, we have to do something about that. We will remove 3 unit tiles from not only the left-hand side, but also the right-hand side, because whatever we do to one side, we must do to the other to preserve equality. So we take 3 from the left and 3 from the right. We get rid of them. Lo and behold, we have now left a variable tile, one variable tile on the left-hand side. And what do we have on the right? We have 5 unit tiles. Therefore, n, our variable, equals 5. Please be sure to always put in the symbolic representation. So if you do all the work with the algebra tiles, in this case, the one variable tile corresponds to 1n. This is your equality, and the 5 unit tiles. We will again verify our answer. We'll check it, as we did with the balance scales. So I put down n plus 3. Is this going to equal 8 when I sub in 5? In place of my n, I put what we found. 5 plus 3. Is it going to equal 8? 5 plus 3 is 8, so most definitely 8 equals 8. What that confirms is that n equals 5 is our solution. Second example, 4v equals 12. Let's represent. So we will have 4 variable tiles to correspond to the 4v on the left-hand side. And on the right-hand side, we have our 12 units. The goal is to get one of these variable tiles by itself. In this case, we will strategically group the tiles to determine the value of this variable tile. So what we need to do here is take all of the units that we have on this side and group them so that there's the same number of unit tiles corresponding to a variable tile. So just watch how this works. When we strategically group here, on the left-hand side, I still have my 4 variable tiles. On the right-hand side, I still have my 12 units. But if you notice how they're grouped, you should be able to see that one variable tile will correspond with, or will be equal to, 3 units. So it has to be grouped evenly. So what have we discovered? That v, or the variable tile, 1v, equals 3 units. If we verify, I take my equation, 4v, circle 12. In place of the v, we found v to be 3. Let's pop it in. So I get 4 times 3. Does that equal 12? 4 times 3 is 12, and that certainly equals 12. B equals 3, correct answer. So let's step it up a little bit more here. Our equation this time is 10 equals 3h plus 4. Step 1, we're going to represent. On the left-hand side, we have 10 units. And on the right-hand side, we have 3 variable tiles and 4 units. Our goal is to get one of these variable tiles all by itself. So obviously I need to do something about the 4 units. So first remove 4 unit tiles from both sides, from each side. So I take 4 from the left-hand side, those 4 from the right-hand side, and we get rid of them. That leaves me with 3 variable tiles on the right, and I have 6 units on the left. Let's strategically group them now so that we have the same number of unit tiles buddying up with a variable tile. There we go. So now I see that each variable tile corresponds with 2 unit tiles, or a variable tile equals 2 units. Symbolically, that will mean that 2 equals h, or h equals 2. So as you see, the variable 1h and the 2 units gives us h equals 2. Let's verify. I start with my equation. 10, circle, 3h plus 4. 10, in place of the h, we found h to be 2, I pop in a 2. 10, does it equal? That's what we're going to find out. 3 times 2, order of operations, got to do that first. So 6 plus 4, 10. And 6 plus 4 is 10. And we know that 10 definitely equals 10. H equals 2, correct solution. And now I'd like you to proceed to the next video in this lesson.